Welcome to Big Natural Talents.
Wow, we are bungling that because we are remote recording, we're locked down, we are just not happy.
We're not happy, we're separated, and it's not the same when we're separated.
It's really bad, and it's actually really hard. And I think what this whole virus has affected the most is podcasters.
Podcasters, yeah.
And you guys just need to dig deep in your hearts and your pockets.
Yeah, one day we're going to have a Patreon, and if you could donate whatever you could so that we could have, like, a slightly better Wi-Fi or, like, more...
So, like, if I could, like, buy more clothes and stuff and just... Yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Lauren, do you miss me? On a scale of 0 to 10, how much are you missing old Chet over here?
I miss your smell. I miss your touch, your body, your warmth.
Okay, you're obsessed with me?
Oh, sorry, is this the god? Yeah, I miss you, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, we still talk. We're still around.
Yeah, I know. It's fun. It's just a fun question to sort of ask.
What can you do?
Okay, so let's catch up. How are you doing in lockdown so far? What's the goss in your life?
Oh my god. I'm good. I'm just like doing my usual. I've been listening to this podcast because anyone who knows me knows that I care about the current affairs and the news of what happened like 2 years ago. So I was listening to a podcast. Do you know about this thing? It happened years ago, literally, but it's all going to trial soon, so it is kind of relevant. Do you know about Elizabeth Holmes and the Theranos? Is this ringing a bell?
No! What?
Oh my god. Okay, so I recommend it to listeners as well. I've been listening to this podcast. It's called The Dropout. It's an ABC podcast. And it's about Elizabeth Holmes. So she is like on trial now for fraud, basically. Because she is like a Silicon Valley entrepreneur, but it's all coming out now. Like her whole company was just like lies. No. But she convinced everyone. And this is where it gets so crazy for me, is she convinced like big people. Henry Kissinger was on the board of her company. Like, just fucking cover of Time magazine.
What?
And her, like, whole thing was, like, she dropped out of Stanford. She was trying to be Steve Jobs. She was obsessed with Steve Jobs. But, like, the most striking thing about her that everyone knows is that she has this, like, deep voice. But she faked this voice.
No.
Like, this is her fake voice. She just faked a deep voice, and then everyone she met was like... Who's this girl? She's blonde, but she talks really deep. She's literally like, yeah, I just think I really want to create a company that is revolutionizing healthcare, and we're going to be able to do blood tests with a single drop of blood. And anyone who's ever had a blood test knows how traumatic it is. Oh, that's what she sounds like.
What a voice. Okay, so guess what? My take is she would definitely have done that voice to seem more authoritative, to be taken more seriously, maybe even to like seem a bit different, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my god, fraud is literally so interesting.
Crazy?
For the first time in my life, I was watching the ABC News Go Off Queen, and it had an ad for the same thing. It's a new series about this like Australian tycoon who like frauded everybody, including Barack Obama and like all these like high people with his like company. It's green and it's like money and it's investors, and it all was a fraud. I don't know. You have to check the ABC idea. I couldn't tell you. But and also at the same time, that's made me think about this amazing story. If we're recommending podcasts, you know, we both love her, Lena Dunham. She has a podcast, I think, called The C Word, which is really interesting, all about women who've been called crazy in like the media and stuff like that. And actually, I think one of them was about this woman. It was this mystery woman who called all the like celebrities in like Hollywood and would like they would fall in love with her, and they'd never met her. It was just this random woman who like It's like so interesting. I'm trying to find the name.
I wish that there was a single piece of information in anything you're saying.
I never have it.
You're like, there's a scammer as well, and Anyway, I thought the voice thing was so crazy to me, and then I was like, maybe I should change my voice. Like,
oh my God,
would it work? Should I just like, could we just call like Screen Australia and be like, you should fund this TV idea I have.
Totally.
I don't have a script.
What would my voice be like?
But I have a vision.
Hi, I'm Concetta Caristo. Is that better?
Yeah, I'm really buying what you're selling.
Okay, wait, sorry. Can I just follow up on my thing? Okay, this is it. It's the story of legendary love scammer Miranda Grosvenor, a woman who anonymously enchanted Hollywood's most famous men over the phone. Some of her confirmed callers include Warren Beatty, Robert De Niro, and Billy Joel. So that is, if you want to listen to that, it's called the C Word, so look it up. But how interesting is
Piano Man himself.
The Mr. Piano Man, your friend and
your
mine.
favorite.
You know what?
Artist, singer of Vienna.
Yeah, my favorite song. Okay, well, so that's you in lockdown. You've been like listening to amazing podcasts and learning about fraud. Well,
I've just
done.
been podding. I've been walking. I've been... Yeah, I think that's about it.
Sort of
just
a far
watching
cry
TV,
from what I've been doing.
going for a walk, doing administration, cutting up little reels for all you people to watch on our Shall We Plug Instagram page.
We have a Big Natural Talents Instagram. Please go follow. It's the perfect way to contact us and send us your gossip. And we've got heaps of videos out there as well for you to watch and listen and share.
Absolutely.
Do you want to know what I've been doing in lockdown?
What?
Sort of the usual, a sort of phenomenon that's been happening to me, Lauren, which I've actually never discussed on the pod. And
I was going to say diarrhea.
I better give it trigger warning. It is related to poo.
So like a new shit thing
it's a new
that
shit
you have
thing.
yet to discuss.
And it's actually happened for like months, and I've never told anyone about it because it's shameful. But I've been doing some slippery little suckers in the toilet that do not flush. And the first time I found out it happened was because Ben was like, "Oh, you left me a little surprise." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then he opens the toilet and there is a turd in the bowl that has been left. And I was like, what? I was like, I flushed. And they don't flush. We flush a million times. And it happens so often that I flush and think it's gone and it's not. And I had to call my mother and she was like, sweetie, you need to get a bucket of water and flush it that way.
Do you flush? Because I like look at, I check the bowl after I've flushed. So you're saying it's going down and it's coming back up. It is rising. From the dead.
I think
it's never going down.
I think it's sunk and it's stuck and it's slippery and it doesn't want to move. So now I do have to check, but I just want to check with everyone. Like, I can't be the only one that this is happening to, but it's like a phenomenon in this household. Me and Ben riff about it. I think it could be because I'm having a lot of fiber or something. I'm trying to have lots of fiber. Maybe that's like changing.
Maybe. It still doesn't feel natural. Do you have like very old pipes or something? Is it like a narrow toilet situation?
Maybe. So, but then why? Oh, I was going to say, why hasn't this happened to Ben? But I know why, because he's just got a whole different thing going on back there. But I won't get into it. But that's one thing that's happening in lockdown. As usual, I have been doing my vocal exercises, Lauren. A lot of self-care is happening in my
Can you do
world.
a little example of these exercises for me now?
No, because it needs a bottle of water with a straw in it, and it's not.
Mama.
That's not it.
There is there's this like a singing teacher who lives near my building. I don't know,
Oh my
because I just
God.
hear them sometime being like, "Ma." And then just last night I was to Alex. I was like, I have perfect pitch. I know I can do it. And he was like, "Give me middle C," and I was like, and I'm gonna try to do it again now because I've been trying to.
Oh my God.
Learn it. And I was like, it's not, and I was like, "Ma," and then he got up. He got middle C up on YouTube, and I was way off. But if anyone listening to the pod right now, okay, this is Ma. Let me know if that's middle C.
It doesn't sound like it, and I don't know.
I just think it might be. I just think it might be.
I'm gonna try. La. Maybe a bit.
Ma.
La. Wait, can I make some redactions while we're on I just like sort of need to get my voice out there because what?
Yeah, I just thought of something about one of my redactions that I had to add as well.
Okay, great. So I'm going to lead by all these people who listen to this podcast. Now that we have more than like 10 people who listen to this, and I listen back to these episodes and we're editing them, and I get so overwhelmed. I'm freaking out. I'm like, no, that's not what I meant. You know me. And then I was like, Lauren, I literally have the privilege of doing this podcast every week, so I can get back on it and explain. So number one, and this is mainly to you, Lauren. So I think the narrative for Concetta is that she loves farts. She loves farting with her boyfriend. She's obsessed. They're just hotboxing their whole life. And it's like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I've always just said that if you have to and you're in front of your partner, you should feel safe and comfortable to do it and not feel like your whole world is ending a la Carrie Bradshaw. Now, what I'm going to say is,
okay,
this is an example of why farting all the time is like not good, because Ben ruined MasterChef, an emotional episode of MasterChef with his farts. I'm not kidding, Lauren. And this is a spoiler.
Not MasterChef.
A spoiler alert for anyone who watches MasterChef. It's the episode where Brett leaves. Now, Lauren, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but Brett is like the most amazing person on this show. He's like a tradie who's like so warm-hearted and kind. And he literally has to leave because of mental health reasons. And what does Ben do?
Wow.
Before I'm literally crying in bed, Ben does the loudest, longest fart. I get so angry at him. Then it keeps going. Then it's now ending. It's like now bookending the emotional part of this episode. What does Ben do? He farts again. I literally shut the laptop. I'm like, you're in trouble. It's over. No. Like, so just know that like there's absolutely light and shade to farting with your partner in my life. And I need you to hear that, Lauren, as my friend.
Thank you. Thank you for your offering. I would add to that though, as someone who's just hearing about this now, that maybe, you know, the flip side of this is I can't think of someone who might enjoy the brevity of a long fart more than a kind-hearted tradie who is, suffering from, you know, a bit of the black dog. If a man's just trying to be on MasterChef, but he's got this black dog following him, maybe what he actually needed in that moment was a long, silly fart. And I think you need to think about that as well.
Well, Lauren, you sound like you're obsessed with farts now, so how the tables have turned. Another thing I'd like to redact is last week or whenever it was, when I said I was bad at head, I was kind of like trying to say that as a joke.
No. You said not only are you bad at it, but you refuse to do it. And then we all know now that your boyfriend has never had his poor little schmeckle sucked. And you're not putting that thing in your mouth.
That is actually absolutely untrue. And I'd just like to say that was meant to be more comical, and it became like an Oprah Winfrey episode.
It got a bit super soul.
Yeah, it got a bit super soul. It was meant to be funny, and I just want to say that, like, if I wanted to be better at it, I'm fully able to, and I choose not to. Okay, I'm fine. I'm decent. Yeah. There's no complaints.
I'm sure you are.
Oh my god. So that's
so funny to like be like, I'd just like to address, guys. Some of you might have been confused. Just wanted to make it clear that I actually am really good at sucking on, deep throating, and in fact choking on cock. These are three things that I do regularly and love to do.
You did not,
and excel at.
You did not hear me say very good at all. Did you hear me say very good? I didn't say very good. I didn't say any of that. I said I'm fine and it's happening in its own. I just want to say that head is a lot of work. And, you know, I have an apparatus that's ready to go at all times. So that's all I'm going to say on that. My pussy. Next, the last final thing that I'm going to say is I remember I told you, Lauren, I was freaking out because it sounded like I was saying if Ben was a pedophile, I would still be with him. And that is not what I was trying to say. I was trying to say in that case you brought where like this woman stood by her man and then guess what? He was found innocent. It would just be so hard if the partner who you believe to be the person you know them to be. Anyways, I don't even know.
This was when we were talking about the Stan documentary, Outcry.
Yes.
And then you said I would stand by Ben through anything, but you did not mean if he was a pedophile.
I mean, it would be difficult. Now, everything else I've said in this podcast, I stand by it 100%. We'll die on that hill. But they're the only things Now, you have a redaction. What's yours?
It's not really a redaction. It's like an addendum to a redaction.
Awesome. Love big words. Let's go.
So a while ago, I said my friend Zoe was a home birth and she was born into a toilet.
Yeah, and we found out that's not true.
This later came out that was not true. She was a home birth, but on the bed. And And then I just found out my friend sent me my friend's ex-boyfriend's sister just did give birth in the toilet.
Oh my God.
A toilet baby in my extended circles. Oh. And then I was like, it's kind of crazy because, like, this is a girl who's, like, my friend's ex-boyfriend from literally 10 years ago, like, his random sister, like, her probably quite personal Facebook post, which is, like, about her birth story. And then now I'm on a podcast talking about it, but I don't know. If she didn't want people to know her birth story, then maybe her brother shouldn't have dated someone who was friends with someone who was going to do a podcast in 10 years. So,
yeah, think about
that.
It.
And congratulations.
Congratulations from the Big Natural Talents.
From the pod here. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome on anytime.
Yeah. I don't know if we've ever met, and I haven't seen your brother in about 10 years, but congrats. He's a new uncle. If I saw him on the street, he actually lives near me, I would run away. So I just thought that was a bit
That's very
fun.
funny. And also, before I forget, you need to tell me and everyone about something you sent me on Facebook that you brought to my attention that has happened years ago but is so important for everyone to know. Please take it away.
I thought it was ages ago. I'm trying to see when it was. It was, this is just something, you know how there's those news stories that just stick with you forever?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And some people may say that that is like 9/11 or something. Where were you when you read that? But for me, the story that stays with me is from August in 2020. Mm-hmm. And that was like, where was I when I heard that one night while filming The Masked Singer, Jackie O ate 80 seaweed snacks. Mm-hmm. 80. Mm-hmm. She ate so many seaweed snacks that the next day she had gained 5 kilos in water weight and was so bloated she like could barely fit into her dress for the show, and then had to ask to be edited out of the show because she was so bloated.
Oh my fucking God. Okay, August 2020 last year is my birthday month, so I would have been living it up while Jackie O... And every time you say Jackie O, I think of Jackie Onassis. I'm not thinking of the Kyle and Jackie.
I never think of her when people say Jackie O. People are like, oh, with the Kennedy assassination and Jackie O. And I go, oh, she was alive? She looks great. It's crazy that she's doing radio now.
So I bought some seaweed snacks because you told me this. And I tried them. And I was like...
How many did you eat?
I had like 2. They weren't something that I found quite addictive. I would say it's possibly because I'm a sweet tooth. But I didn't... And Ben was saying, yeah, you would need like 80 to feel full off these.
You need so... Well, I like seaweed snacks. They're good. And actually, like, if you're looking for a chip alternative, it's normally like... Yeah, they're like 60 or 75 calories or something for a little packet of these things. Very low carb. Seaweed is a good source of iodine.
5 kilos if you have 80 of them.
But yeah, if you eat 80...
So can I just check? So she went in, filmed the episode... Are you saying she watched it back, saw how she looked, and asked before they air it to cut her out like she wasn't even in it?
Okay, yeah. So I've given the rundown now, and now I'm opening the floor to questions for confirmation. So what she did was she went in and she knew she was so bloated, and she was like, I'm so bloated. I don't even know what's going on. She got in, and it was too late for her stylist to like change her dress. And so she had to be squeezed in to like this. It's this pink, like,
oh my God, I want the
foil
photo.
dress. Because I remember before I even knew about this story, I saw a photo of Jackie O from this episode. Like, I saw it in passing on the news, and I was like, oh God, like, what's going on? Because her tits are like spilling out of it. She was like packed into this dress. And she says, I was just busting out of this thing. You couldn't control my boobs. They'd gone up 2 sizes and my face was bloated. I died. Oh
my God. That to me makes me want to eat 80 seaweed snacks if I wanted like a bigger rack or something
2
for an
cup
event.
Sizes.
That's like when I went on the pill because I heard a friend of mine was like, yeah, my boobs went up 2 sizes. So I immediately went on the pill.
I've been on the pill. It didn't do anything like that for me.
That is so, this to me makes Jackie O like so much more lovable. Relatable, like, lovable. We've all been there. She's just like overeat us. And then you have to go film a TV show.
Anyone could eat 80 seaweed snacks.
Oh my God.
I know. So, and she says as well that like,
I think she looks good.
Notice. She looks great. Susie was looking at me strangely like, what the hell's happened to you?
That fuck?
Husey was like, we have a problem.
That's amazing, and I hope everyone goes and Googles this news story and looks at that iconic pink dress of Jackie O. And we hope to one day have her on the pod. We were talking about this, and we would love to just ask her just about this moment in her career.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Absolutely. That's like, yeah, about a lot of things. Who was the other celebrity person that we said we should have on and just ask about this one?
Was it Ricky Lee? No.
Thing.
Was it,
I don't know, but to have like a big celeb on the pod and only ask about this one thing. So like Jackie O is like the highest paid radio person in the biz with her and Kyle Sandilands. Like the craziest career, like the dirt she would have on celebs.
Oh my God.
And then we get the exclusive, but we're like, all we want to know about
is
that 24-hour period in which you consumed 80 seaweed snacks. Start from the top.
Start from the top.
Talk me through it.
Let's go. Let's break it down. I love that.
Talk me through it, babe.
We're with you, babe. We understand.
What were you going through that made you do that?
Oh my God. Love to her and all the team at Kiss FM.
Yeah, shouts out to the team at Kiss FM for just for all they do.
We can only aspire in our little podcasting studio to one day be at the top of the charts on national radio.
Yeah.
Who would you say is the Kyle and the Jackie O of us two, Lauren?
Oh, I don't know. I think maybe you're the Kyle. And I'm
that's
the
what I
Jackie
thought.
O.
I'm the one.
Because, yeah.
You'll
be like, I did a shit so big I couldn't flush it. And I'd be like, oh, Chet, you can't say, you've got to settle down on the rate. That's just disgusting.
That's it.
And then I would also be, because like you say that eating 80 seaweed snacks is something you would do, but I think eating 80 seaweed snacks is more something I would do, because I would be like, yeah, they're low calorie, there's no carbs in these, like I can actually eat them and like there's no consequences.
So true.
But then the consequences would come to light.
Yeah, the next day when I'm looking at you strangely. And I'm like, we can't do the show, baby.
What happened here? I'm wearing a pink monstrosity. I've got tits all of a sudden.
Yeah, you used to have mosquito tits, and now you've got double Ds. What the fork is going on?
You're nearly making a cleavage. Like, what's happened? They can nearly touch each other. I was just on Instagram before and I saw, do you know when you see these like things come up? It's like, this is a new campaign from the RSPCA, which I thought would be like an inspiring animal story. And it's like shot like it looks like an inspiring animal story, but it's actually really fucked. And hang on, I'm going to play it and I hope you can hear it through the mic and we can edit it in like properly if it sounds like shit. So just listen to this and let me know what you think about this story.
I walked into the treatment room and I saw this beautiful poodle. He had purple nails painted on. And I thought, what a cutie. And someone said, oh, watch out. The police want the contents of his stomach. And they said he had just eaten his owner. I was taken aback. I gave him some drugs. He threw up the contents of his stomach. I had to collect it. I was feeling quite sick. You could see skin, you could see soft tissue. Put it in a sealed container, and then the police came and collected it. Sometimes the dog's really anxious if an owner passes away because they're scared. They know something's different about the owner, but they don't know what. And they want the owner to wake up. They sort of lick the owner's face. They'll nudge the owner, and then they might bite a bit of the owner, sort of shake the owner, wake up, wake up. It made sense to me. I know it's not a very nice thing. An unfortunate situation.
And it ends on upbeat music. It's like, boom,
and then it's like
strings.
uplifting. And the camera angle, it was like from I Think You Should Leave or something. It was
my God, that is honestly actually, that was quite informative. Because I'm thinking like, what do you mean this poor beautiful poodle who's like so cute, why is it gone ravenous eating its owner? But she made it really like broke it down so we understand it came from love and care, which again makes me like fall back in love with dogs.
She was like, I was pleased to learn that while the dog did eat its owner, it did not kill its owner. Merely, what do you call it? Like, dismembered its corpse.
What is that an ad for?
I I have no idea. It's like an RSPCA, like, we're telling you our stories or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we open the vault and share unforgettable moments to commemorate 150 years of the RSPCA in Australia. Like,
well, she
like,
just
celebrate. Like, why do you talk about
her damn job? She did her damn job, and that's what they want to share with the world. The RSPCA is out here working with the police. We don't know what's going on.
It's crazy.
That is
Admit
quite
it.
crazy.
It's
That is
insane.
honestly crazy. And again, my love to her and everyone at the RSPCA for everything they're doing for us. You know what? This isn't like giant pod worthy, but you know me, every time I see a dog, I'm like, this is a news story. But the other day, I saw the most schlubbiest man walking the most prim and proper little poodle. It felt like it was the beginning of a movie. It was like, you know, Seth Rogen 10 years ago. And then it's like a little poodle who's like with the little circles, you know, the like circle head and the circle feet. It was just like, I had 10 questions for that man. I was like, who are you? Where are you going? Is this your dog? Why is this your dog? Why isn't this a staffy? What's happening?
Why don't you put 1% of the grooming effort you put into her that you put into yourself?
To me, that's the start of the movie. It's a meet cute. I bump into him, immediately fall for the dog, look up, gaze up. It's a schlubby mannequin fix. Fall in love with him. Then we do the makeover series. Which one more thing to talk about. But Lauren, there's this new show.
Yeah,
we've just talked about it. Beauty and the Geek is going absolutely off at the moment.
Yeah, I'm obsessed.
I started watching it with Ben because we were waiting for MasterChef to begin, and it's like a show that I feel like you're going to love and hate. You just like love it, hate it. I guess that's all reality TV. But the main thing is you see these crazy nerdy guys and you see these beautiful girls who are, by the way, so young. They all, Lauren, look 17, 18. Like, I'm like, this is weird.
Do they?
Like,
how old are they?
I'm not joking.
Though?
They're like 20, 21. Like, you know,
What
they chuck
business
in
do
one
these
35-year-old woman.
Have on a television show.
Fame, fortune, just like the rest of us.
That's like when I watch because I'm going to get an aerial soon actually for my TV, but I don't have free-to-air TV at the moment.
Whoa.
But whenever you see like the Bachelor contestants and they're always like, I've just been trying to find the right guy. I love and I want to settle down. I'm a real estate agent. And they're like 24 years old. And I'm like, babe, like you don't want to settle down. Like,
honey,
you want to suck 100 more dicks.
Slut it up. You literally need to slut it up until I would say 27, 28.
And then they also act like they've been burned before. They're like,
oh my
I'm
God,
just sick of being treated. Like, because I'm sure these beauties are like that too. Because the point is, like, they're meeting geeks and then they're really nice guys. They're like, had such a hard time. It's like, you've been on the scene for 1 minute.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's literally their stories in the show. But anyways, what I want to say is,
in my shoes.
Oh my God. And it's like, you're supposed to have your toxic relationships at this age, you dumb slut. Come on. It's like, you don't need to like get into the like marriage, good, stable stage till later in your 20s, sweetie. No rush. But we all know what they're doing there. So like, don't worry.
It's character building to be abused for a few years.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll make you into the person that you will become and start like a podcast series about.
Yeah. And then you can become a comedian.
Yeah. Just like us. Okay. Get in line, sister. But I just want to say that as soon as this show started, the one thing we wanted to see immediately was the makeovers. Yeah. There is something about makeovers that is just like, you can get on board in 1 second. So I just thought they should do shows that are just makeovers. Like, I don't want a backstory. I don't want to see who it is. It's like, I don't even need to know who the 5 guys are and what. I just want to see a makeover of a person's looks. It's like, it could be like a 10-minute episode on National. Wouldn't that go off?
Well, there's like a few shows like that. There's like Extreme Makeover, or there's like, did you ever watch that English show that was like Snog, Marry, Avoid?
Yes, yeah, these are great shows, but I'm talking strip everything away. It's like a 10-minute show.
But you need a little bit.
I guess, but just take
of the story.
Who like looks like they've came out of the bush, and then you just like, scrub them up, fix them up, out they pop, end of episode.
I guess, but I always like to hear the story about like why they're fuggo. Like, remember Trini and Susanna? Did you watch Trini and Susanna?
No, but I absolutely know those queens.
Yeah, and they would like go to this woman, and she was like, you know, like a fuggo, but she was, you know, just not looking after herself. And they were like, why are you fuggo? And then she'd be like, my husband left me and now I've got to eat a whole block of cheese every night and I just wear this old clothes because I don't feel good. And then they cinch her waist and that's the end.
They get that girly in a corset.
Yeah.
And a snip, snip here and a snip, snip there.
They cinch with a belt. They tell her that she is a column body shape, which means she needs to wear
You're a brick.
beads or something. And it changes her life. And she walks
And
into
a bolero.
the boardroom.
And
Yeah,
she's
she needs
different.
a bolero.
And she then makes her first multi-million-dollar deal. And she wasn't even in that industry in the beginning.
She doesn't need to be. She's got a long scarf now. She's got a skinny, long scarf. She's got a bolero and she's got a peasant skirt. So...
Which just, reminds me one more thing. You know how we were speaking about fraud up top, and then we should really get into gossip. But also when I was watching ABC for 5 seconds, they also got a new documentary about, do you remember the Australian woman who pretended she was fighting cancer?
Oh, Belle Gibson. Yeah.
Yes. That's also, so fraud is happening. It's rife in Australia. Everyone's
Obsession.
lying liars. We're the only truth tellers here. I'm telling you about my shits
I
on the
know.
toilet, being vulnerable. No lies here. But everyone else, they are conning people left, right, and center.
They are scamming. They are conning. I wonder, like, what could we even scam someone for?
Oh.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I can't think of a single thing that I could easily scam.
No. I can't lie. You can see it on my face.
Yeah. I can't. Yeah, I'm a terrible liar. It doesn't work. Okay. Well, you said before, we have so much listener gossip.
Wow.
It's
Thank you so much.
Crazy. Because we mentioned it before, we've got the new Instagram page. That's where we're going to try to do some gossip call outs. We also had a few in the Curious Cat. We had a few on Instagram. We've got so much gossip. So if you didn't hear your gossip, like if you don't hear it this episode, like we are like banking it up. We are rolling it out. We are absolutely getting to it.
It's the
all.
NBN stimulus package. You'll get it when you get
It'll
come
when
soon.
you get it. It's like the vaccine, okay? You've got to wait your turn.
It's slow, but it's worth it. Stay indoors.
Yeah, stay inside if you're under 40 because you cannot hear this yet. And if you're over 40, good for you. You're in the minority, I think, of this listenership. Then you're my mum listening to this podcast. Yeah, we have so much, and I need to get into the Curious Cat to find it. But I'm going to start with some of the Instagram gossip.
Okay.
I think the key to this is asking specific questions, and that's what really unlocked it in a lot of people. Because whenever we've complained about not getting gossip, we've always said, like, everyone has
We're always
gossip.
complaining.
And then they secretly have gossip, but you just need to ask the questions and people will provide. So I asked, what's like the craziest thing that happened at your school? Because I feel like school gossip, that's like a fucked up place, isn't it, school? Mm-hmm. And there's a few like shit themed ones that I would like to read out for you specifically.
Yes, thank you.
So this is a classic, I reckon. When I was in year 10, I witnessed a year 7 kid shit himself in the middle of the playground during recess. Like, shit literally came out the leg of his shorts. Like, she saw the shit come out. So then the teacher on duty just came over and, like, made him stand there in a pool of his own shit while she went to go get help. And then when they came out for lunch later, they saw, like, them, like, pressure washing the spot that the shit had been.
No. It makes me think about all the times you'd see powder over vomit. And that would be like
sawdust.
Yeah, and you'd be like, oh, what's the story? Like, you can't, from childhood, you're like, that's so interesting. What loser, like, did this in their day? Love that.
Because it's also like teachers, like, they don't want to deal with this shit either. They don't know how. Like, it's not like really in their description. Like, because my mum's a teacher and she is like famously against vomit. She's like, I don't do vomit. And she was like, once one of my kids, like, he just came up and vomited in the bin next to me. And I was like, okay, cool. Pick up the bin and go to the office. Like,
Oh my God.
She's like, I'm not.
That's not in their pay grade. They should not be made to do that.
No,
it's like,
they shouldn't.
in the same way that if you work at McDonald's, you think you're there to make the best damn fries you can and burgers, and then actually they put you on toilet duty. And it's like, what?
Oh, don't get me started. Have I even talked about this on the pod?
What?
When you're in the bottom of the social ladder at McDonald's? Cause
No? Okay, this needs its whole a whole documentary style episode.
No, I used to work at McDonald's, and yeah, like they were just like probably once a month, someone would just come in and like shit everywhere. And I don't know why. I don't know how. Who does that? And then it's like, who's going to deal with this? Me.
And because you're not friends with everyone at McDonald's,
so.
They're not carrying you on their shoulders.
No.
So you're the runt of the litter.
I was, because then when the people who work at McDonald's, like, they're all smoking cigarettes and stuff and, you know, cool shit that I've never done. I don't know. I did have to clean up the shit a bit. But then I think after, like, working there for a year or two, like, I definitely, like, built up enough kind of.
Yeah. But poor 16-year-olds are literally cleaning up feces.
I'm a child. You
That's
don't, like,
horrible.
You'd have to do, like, the initial, like, you'd, like, throw a bucket of bleach water on it and, like, just, like, make it kind of acceptable, and then, like, the real cleaner would come.
Oh, good. Right. I was like,
but yeah.
It's mental.
It is up to a bunch of, like, 15 and 16-year-olds to, like, triage a diarrhea situation. Which I believe is unethical. Anyway, speaking of shit, this is also, like, this didn't happen in my school, but it feels like such, like, a classic schoolyard prank. And I don't know how they did it, and I'd love to know how, but someone did a shit in a Mount Franklin bottle.
No.
That is what someone said.
No.
At their school?
No.
I wonder if they, like, put the lid on afterwards. And, like...
And who found it? Where was it?
Where was it?
The day? What was the context?
I know, like, there was a few of these things that I followed up with, like, that were too vague that I followed up with. But, like, so much of this, I'm like, I want to know the whole story. I want to know the whole tale. And that's why, as well, if you wanted to even do a voice recording of yourself telling us the story, please do. And then you can email it to us at bignaturaltalents@gmail.com.
Can I give you some of my school gossip, or do you have more of school before
I've got more, but you give me some of yours.
Okay. So my friend, again, keeping this fully anon, but a friend of mine from school, she was like, do you remember the gossip from our school? And famously, I don't remember a single thing that's ever happened to me for trauma reasons, but I also don't know anything of the future, and so I just live in the present, but also every time I'm in the present, I'm actually not present, and so I'm a useless speck of dust in this world. So I was like, no. And she was like, it makes me think of the time that a girl from our school, sister, bashed her up because she called her an anal slut in the playground. And she said, didn't you say you saw that? And I was like, look, probably, but
maybe
couldn't be sure. I could have been at 9/11, wouldn't remember. Then there was, what about this other girl, blah, 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 apparently having sex with all of her friends' brothers at a sleepover. I do vaguely remember this. And there was a lot of slut shaming going on at my school.
Wait,
especially
all of her
I would have been involved.
Brothers?
Her brother's friends.
Brothers'
so she
friends.
went to a sleepover her brothers was having and slept with all the dudes. And
because
then,
that is, to me, better. So it's better to sleep with, like, a group of friends than it is to sleep with, like, a group of brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Like, did she sleep with, like, 4 different brothers? Because that's actually, like, getting weird. In the same
That
night,
is weird.
too?
That's
weirder.
Weird.
But just
That's,
simply sleeping with a gang of friends... Well, that's a bit more acceptable.
That's called a Friday night.
Yeah, okay.
And then there was this girl, and I don't know if this is low gossip or not, or like relatable gossip, but there was a girl and her group, they all went to the Easter show and they got really drunk, and then she had to get her stomach pumped at the hospital. And then, so this is sort of the stuff that went rife at our school.
Yeah.
And there was also a girl who gave a guy a blowjob. This story I love. This girl gave a guy a blowjob. And then in maths, we were all learning about probability, and we were doing a heads and tails to like a thing with a, you know, what's it called? A coin for probability. And the teacher asked who voted for head, and someone shouted out, I'll do a fake name. Amy, Miss She Loves Head.
That's so
funny. Did I say that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that so funny? So everyone's being slut shamed. That's sort of the gossip that was happening. And it made me remember that when I was in year 5, this girl I hated, and I think rightfully so, she got her period. And I remember she was like one of the first girls to get it. And I definitely remember bullying her. I definitely remember like giving her the eyes or just like laughing in her face. Because I said it was like the only thing I had on her. How stupid.
That's pretty funny.
Now I bow down to my queen to have a period. Oh, how incredible.
What I wouldn't give to have my period.
Give to get my boobs a little earlier than the rest of the girls now.
Oh, that's
okay.
fun.
So you keep going with your gossip.
Oh my god, yeah. Sorry, there's just so much. And then there were some wanking ones as well. This one made me laugh. A guy whipped it out and did a subtle wank during Horrible Histories. Horrible Histories just made it that much funnier for me, actually.
But isn't that a book?
No, it's I mean, I think there are books, but it's that show. It was like a TV show. Horrible Histories. But I thought it was so funny. And then someone else was caught wanking in sick bay, which is, I feel like, a classic move.
Oh my god! Wow.
Of course, you'd be wanking in sick bay.
Yeah,
you'd be mad. You'd be
else.
sick not to. If I walked in there and the kid wasn't wanking, I'd be like, call an ambulance. This guy must be sick.
I'm calling the parents.
You're saying you're lying down alone in a little room and you're not anyway.
And you're a hormonal kid. Come on.
Yeah. And then this one is a good topical reality TV show one. I haven't watched this show because I am repulsed by the premise. But Lux Listings on Netflix. If you've seen
my
it.
god. I've literally been talking about this show. I have insider goss that the two hosts have hairline tattoos. So they're
Really?
both brothers and they've had hairline tattoos, and now you've heard this, you will not be able to unsee it.
Ew.
But I'm desperate to watch the show. Love this shit. Keep going, Lauren.
Yeah, well, the gossip I have from there is, so they went to school with Gavin from Lux Listings. I don't know, do you know who that is? Maybe it's one of the guys with the hairline tattoos.
Yeah.
And then allegedly every day at lunchtime, he used to drive up and down the laneway near school in his Porsche convertible with the hot mean girls in the backseat. Interesting.
Oh my! So he's been an asshole forever. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. Hey, isn't that like such a crazy coincidence that this person who is now very wealthy and making lots of money also was born into wealth? That's such a weird coincidence.
That honestly, Lauren, never happens. That
It never happens. That's actually the craziest part of all of this. It was like, whoa, so he's not self-made. That's so weird.
Yeah.
Real estate scene.
Totally.
Okay, and then I've got two big pieces of gossip. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, the finale.
And there was even like actually way more school stuff as well, including one from our producer Blake. So like we're going to get into this later, and then we might even just get some more details from the horse's mouth.
Great.
So this is one that I thought was funny, and it's also not in Australia. It was in Canada, Toronto, and there's actually like a news story about it, which we can like link to if you like. She says when she was in around 8th grade, she had like a 60-year-old or like an old man French teacher, and he wrote like basically a porn book and tried to pitch it to the school board so it would be added to the curriculum as it like was maybe like a modern take on school life. But it was like incredibly racy. Like it was like literally like 50 Shades of Grey, but like it was like teenagers. It was like fucking kids in the book and stuff. Like,
oh my god,
it was crazy. And so the school board said no. And then one day he gave her class each a copy of the book.
No.
He like gave it to them all, and then she read it, and it was just page after page of like principals and teachers and students all fucking.
No.
So if you want to look it up, his name is Jacques Tremblay. So if you look up Jacques Tremblay, and then the book is called The Sexteens and the Fake Goddess.
I'm looking this up.
In the cover of the book is so funny. We'll put a picture up or something.
Oh
the guy.
my god.
He's got this shirtless boy,
god.
and he's got an iPod mini in the back of his belt, like, and then it's a girl wearing a cowboy hat. She's also shirtless. Yeah,
this is what did
crazy.
he think this was doing for kids?
No idea. It's a sexually infused novel for teens, is what it's described as. It tells the story of two grade 9 students who rely on cleverness and sex appeal to confront authority figures.
You know what this is? This is another case of fraud. This man is pretending not to be a pedophile and is 100% a full-blown pedo.
I don't even know if he's pretending not to be a pedophile. So the book contains multiple descriptions of teenage girls' breasts and buttocks, as well as scenes of stripping, bondage, and sexual assault. It also features a topless teenage boy and girl on the cover.
Okay, we're starting a book club for Big Natural Talents, and this is the first book that we're reading.
So we
as
like
a collective.
Oprah's book club. We'll get a sticker, and it goes on the cover of the book. This is the first book about book club, The Sexteens, BNT approved reading. And I think much like Oprah's
Oh my
book club,
God.
this will make or break authors' careers.
Can I just say that, I mean, as a kid, when I was in school, in my old girls' school for a billion years, I had the biggest crush on my French teacher. Honestly, the whole world knew, except that man. Maybe he did. I don't know.
He knew.
But I would honestly think about him slamming me at school, and maybe this was the book that I needed to get me through. Like, that was your biggest fantasy. But I think for, like, the teacher to be pushing for it is where it gets really scary.
Yeah, when the adult is writing a descriptive novel about it, that is probably where it crosses the line.
That is some incredible gossip.
She says, like, he was, like... So
Oh, wait, does she have the copy? Does she have the original copy of this listener?
Oh, my God. If she still has it, I'm going to ask. I don't know. This would have been years ago.
We need, like, I mean, as if you wouldn't hold on to that forever. Or maybe it went into, like, police questioning.
I don't know. I'm going to try find a copy. I think you can probably get, like, an ebook or something.
This is why we need a Patreon, because you could all fund us to purchase this book.
Yeah.
And then we could, like, you know, do more stuff with it. We could do a photo shoot with it, or, like, read
I'm
it
sure
out loud.
if I bought it, it would be tax deductible.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I want to get audited just to explain that. And then
what's the next gossip?
The next one is a big one. And this is one that I definitely followed up on, which was because you put, like, the little question on Instagram and people can only reply with, like, 2 or 3 lines. And then this listener, who has been asked to be kept completely anonymous for very obvious reasons that will soon come to light, they just said, my whole family thinks my dad is a serial killer. Lol. And I was like, okay, back up. You're going to need to explain. And so then basically they explained that it sounds like kind of like a gangland situation. So basically he knew a lot of kind of disreputable people. He was, like, you know, hanging around people who were known criminals in, like, motorcycle gangs, very well known motorcycle gangs.
Whoa.
And then a few friends of his, like, fell in with some motorcycle gangs and then, like, went missing or dead. And then also they say he always taught me that rifles are for hunting and handguns are for murder. So he was never allowed to own a handgun. And then they found a Glock 9mm in a cabinet that was always locked in the garage. And later again, they looked in, and then, like, there were some bullets missing from the box. So it was like, oh, did he shoot the gun? And he always seemed to have more money than he should have, given his job. He would also, like, disappear for days at a time when the listener was a kid, told the listener to stay away from certain places, saying, like, our name will get you killed there.
Oh my God.
And then also just, like, objectively, he is, like, a really scary looking man. Our listener said, I would rather fight Mike Tyson than this man. He fought professionally once and put the guy in a coma for 3 days in the first round.
Sorry, is this the listener's father?
Yes.
Oh my God. Join the club of scary dads. Wow. Being scared of your father. That is like literally, that's Tony Soprano. That's like living with Tony Soprano, except he's sexy and a cuddly teddy bear.
Yeah. I think this guy's less sexy.
Yeah.
Than,
more scary.
Famous sex symbol James Gandolfini.
That big bear.
A big bear.
That is sort of like, I think, a crazy way to sort of to end on it.
I think it is. I hope it made sense. I kind of read it all out. I was trying to did it make sense?
We hope
I don't know.
so. And again, love to you and light, and just like, I mean, I don't know. You're living a different life to the rest of us. We can do is, if you need anything, the BNTs are here. Honest to God.
And if your dad could kill my dad, that would be great.
Oh, that would be really awesome.
That's why you guys.
Show.
Yeah, and that's why you guys need to get on the Patreon so we can get some money together and pay this guy to sort some people out for us.
That's amazing.
Dear.
Well, what a bumper of an ep, Liza.
It was a crazy episode. Crazy.
Thank you for your gossip. please send more. If you have more, we'll never get sick of you.
Yeah.
We'll never get sick of it. Make sure you follow the Instagram, and we'll have more gossip to come, like you said, if you didn't hear yours today. And we should talk to Blake next step as well.
Absolutely. We will talk to our producer who knows all the inside goss on some schoolyard stuff. And also, send us your gossip, bignaturaltalents@gmail.com for any voice recordings or emails. The Curious Cat at bignaturaltalents. And then our Instagram, bignaturaltalents. And then, yes, if you have sent us gossip, which I didn't even get to the Curious Cat gossip, thank you so much for sending it through. We will get to it next week. Amazing response, guys. You've really pulled through.
Thank you. You're all amazing. We couldn't do this without you. And stay safe, everyone.
Yeah,
with COVID,
stay safe in
etc.
lockdown. Stay home, get vaccinated if you can. If you can't, that's statistically likely in our demographic. So, thanks so much.
All right,
All
bye.
right. Bye.